Good morning, everyone. I'm up early, at it again, on the grind. You know, they say successful people, they put in about 16 to 18 hours a day working. I'm trying to follow you know, that pattern. So yeah, I'm up at it early again, working on this new project. One shot. One shot got me going. One shot got me barely not being able to sleep. Uh, it's a film about, One Shot is a film about, well, yeah, I can talk about it because uh, actually, one shot has been slotted to begin production as an indie film in the next couple months. So, well, that's if everything goes right. If everything goes according to plan with, budgeting and, all of the other specifics behind bringing a film to market. So, yeah, what One Shot is an awesome story. I'm caught up into the character. The character is Mark. Mark is an FBI agent, approximately 40-year-old African American male. Um, quickly rose through the ranks of being an agent. Now he's like a psychological profiler for the FBI. Okay, well, Mark, you know, encounters this situation where he's on a trail of a psychopathic priest who has a hostage, and Mark is in a situation where it's risk the hostage's life, or follow the commands of the hostage taker. So in his decision, because of his training taught him that he has to, in a hostage situation, pretty much succumb to the well wishes or the wishes of you know the hostage taker. That's what his training taught him. So he's following his training, but he also is the type of cop that you know to get to where he has gotten to, he had to be the outside of the box type and thinking FBI agent in order to excel the way he did. And him being outside of the box, untraditional, in his approach to detective work, you know, he has really excelled. Okay, anyway, so now in this situation, he's faced with the decision, you know, do he lower the weapon like the hostage taker requests, and which would be according to his training, or does he honor the wishes of the woman, the hostage herself, saying no, please shoot him? And the way he was trained, he decided to take the route in this situation, you know, to be the way that he was trained. He's going to follow that right now in this given moment. He's not going to exercise none of his better judgment. He's going to go by the books and do this thing according to what his training taught him. So he lowers his weapon, and the hostage taker kills the hostage anyway. So now Mark, he goes through this thing where guilt in his conscience eats him, because he feel if he would have took that shot, you know, despite his training telling him not to, but if he would have took that shot, he could have possibly saved that lady, you know. But and now she ended up dead anyway. So why not take the shot if the guy killed her anyway? Okay, so that's his guilt, his conscience. He goes through this thing where it eats him, it drives him to start drinking excessively, and so his son, Mark has a son, a teenage son, 17-year-old Jamal. Jamal is a bright kid. His mother's Caucasian, so he's a mixed kid, and so but has a bright future. Briefly tell you about how he's on the track team. He's a track star. So now the thing about him being a track star is his father, and he learned from the role modeling of his father, his dad, how to be, the best in, whatever it is that you're pursuing. And so with that mindset and being in this sport, you know, he wants to be the best. And so he practiced relentlessly and, with his father, who coaches him pretty much. And so the theme about the runner that connects with the one shot title is that an issue for the runner is taking off out the gate when you hit a shot. So now his father always practices with him. And when every time he, begins with a delayed takeoff after the shot, that's his biggest problem. And his father always tell him, you know, it's the shot, like that. And that's his message to the son, it's the shot. So that's the theme that keeps the shooting theme going in this film, which I think makes it, it connects what in the world of film would be in script writing. It would be what you call, all good scripts have an underlining meaning or a message, is, and then that's the something that you'll point out in the beginning of a film, and it'll connect later on, and you get the realization from it that, like, oh man, they kind of touched on that in the beginning, and then now it comes full circle in the end, with the theme of the father, not taking a shot. Now the whole function around the kid's running capability to make him more greater is his take it out the gate after he hit a shot. So his father always tells him it's the shot. And then now ultimately he ends up getting murdered by a young rookie detective. And so now the father has to cope with his son's life being taken by a fellow law enforcement officer, different ranks, different, divisions of, enforcement and everything. So, but it's still ultimately, he's a cop. And so now the father has to cope with the son being murdered by a fellow officer who made a bad shot. The shot was bad. And so now the father has a whole lot to deal with. And that's what that film is about. It's a film that delivers a message. It touches on the issue of in society, our societal, conflicts with police and excessive uses of force being, perpetrated against mostly minority men, with women, but majority of it, is towards men, the excessive uses of force from the police in this country. So that's what the film touches on. It touches on that issue, which is, and then I believe, I wanted to touch on it is because, you want to keep something like that in the forefront of, the people's minds and the conscious of, especially circulating it through as many as media outlets, this message, as possible, because we have to, deal with it. We have to address it. We have to come up ways collectively how we can prevent this from, future occurrences, because it's out of hand. And so that's why I wanted to bring this type of film and keep the awareness there, because as a black person, I identify with, the Black Lives Matters, all the movements out there, that's promoting and pushing for social equality, in every area. So, yeah, and with that being in mind, that's why it's important to keep that out there. So as many as people, it can embed in the minds of, as many as people as we can reach. And I believe, information and education is education. It's a way, it's an answer, or something that promotes, encourages, what I'm saying? Let's start thinking about coming together to provide a better solution. We have to work together regardless, you know what I mean? Because we're complaining against an entity, that's, promoting wrongdoing, in a vicious type of coarsely, deadly manner. And wow. But yeah, so that's why I wanted to touch on that topic. And it's a powerful message in it. Then you involve some type of love story and everything inside the film, and then how the love story turned out is going to be shocking. It's going to be like mind blown when you see it. You're like, wow, that happened. That's how this film is set up. That's how one shot is structured. Yeah. And so really can't wait to get it to YouTube soon. Shout out to my man Ronnie G. Purdue, 59 Productions, Las Vegas, my new city, you know. Yeah, so that's gonna be great. But yeah, I really just wanted to touch on that early this morning. So I'm gonna get back to doing some writing, some networking, and grinding. Peace out.